Let me just briefly start by describing Equal Access as an organization. It's an organization that was founded over 10 years ago with a mission to engage underserved populations through the use of appropriate technology, locally developed content, and actually direct community engagement. The reason that we're interested in deploying a technology like Freedom Fone is, again, to give us one more option, and give our audiences one more option for interacting with our programs. Usually our media or our communications programs are packaged together so that we're using different mediums in combination with each other as a way of delivering messages to the audiences, educating the audiences about the topics that we're covering, and also to create what we call an interactive feedback loop with the audience, whereby we're providing them with information and they in return are providing us with their ideas, their commentary, questions, and feedback, general feedback about our programs. That's then fed into the production of future content, so it then creates a sort of cycle or loop. For us, Freedom Fone is a great way of doing that. Again, we're primarily working in broadcast mediums like television or radio, mostly in radio. So to have an audio format or to have a system that allows us to record messages and feedback from the audience in audio form is great. And also, where we're working, there's not a lot of internet access. Internet penetration in countries like Cambodia, Niger, and Chad is very low, less than 5% or even a fraction of a percent in some countries. And so mobile phones are really a good way to reach mobile populations, to reach them when our programming is not on air. Television or radio broadcasts, of course, only broadcast at one time, and then if the audience misses that, they're not able to access that content again, or at least not easily. So to have Freedom Fone, where it's always on, where someone with a mobile phone can access our content, is a great option for us and a great tool for us. A number of key advantages for us with the IVR system over other formats. One is that it integrates very easily into our broadcast programs. Again, we're primarily producing radio programs, so to have audio recordings from audience members around each of these countries is a great tool for us. It allows us to reach wider numbers of people. We often have field reporters, but there are only dozens of field reporters, meaning they can only reach dozens of communities. With interactive voice response, in theory, we could reach every community in each country that has a cellular connection. Another advantage is one that was alluded to earlier, which is literacy. Again, mobile phones are increasingly used throughout all of these countries, but literacy is a problem in places like Afghanistan and Niger and Chad, where we work. About 25 or 30% of Cambodians cannot read. But a bigger problem here is the fact that Cambodia uses a non-Latin script, which is not so widely used in technological formats. There are mobile phones available that allow a user to produce an SMS message in Khmer script. Those aren't widely used. And so even if a Cambodian user is literate, they may not know how to read an English message or a phonetic Khmer message that's using Latin script. So to have the audio format of IVR allows us to engage with different type of audience, and I would say is more inclusive. So I would just say quickly and generally that for us, we're going to absolutely continue to use interactive voice response and Freedom Fone to complement our communications programs in all countries we work. We hope to soon expand our use of interactive voice response to other countries, not only Cambodia and Niger, and I think it has wide applicability for our work, for other development communication organizations, as well as for other non-governmental and governmental organizations working in countries like Cambodia and Niger. I think that increasingly more and more people in these countries will have access to the internet, they'll have more access to radio and television, so the media landscape is going to become more diverse, but I think that actually that's a good argument for using something like IVR. We need to provide audiences with a range of different options, and we as media producers or as non-governmental organizations need to use a range of tools to reach those audiences. For us, it's really all about creating a connection with the audience. It's about creating interaction between our work, the work of our partners, and the people that we're trying to serve. And it's about shared learning, and for us, any tool that allows us to do that is a good one. And so we'll absolutely continue to use Freedom Fone. And I would say that a significant area where I think that Freedom Fone and interactive voice response systems could complement the work being done by NGOs, including Equal Access, is in monitoring and evaluating their projects. I think it's a great tool to use for collecting information from a very large geographic area, from any number of different communities. And I think the applications are great in a number of sectors, from health to environmental protection and business development. And I think that as more and more people get to know the technology, it will increasingly be used in contexts like Cambodia. And I think that that will be a great benefit for the work that this community of nonprofit, non-governmental groups is doing. I also think that media organizations in countries like Cambodia, commercial media organizations, not only non-governmental organizations, should increasingly use technologies like IVR as a way of giving their audiences new opportunities to access content.